Hello everybody, welcome to my first time back to YouTube. And I'll be let's playing Code Vein, a game that I recently purchased and only just started playing a little bit of. It's a Souls-like in the fact that it uses a lot of Dark Souls mechanics, and it's actually a game published by the same people that published the Dark Souls series, Bandai Namco. Now, this will not be 100% Let's Play, as I have not 100% played it myself, nor will it be a full walkthrough, as I've even yet to beat the game myself. This will be my experience going through the game. Well, I'll be playing offline. You can catch me online when I am playing sooner or later. You know, if you genuinely want to find and, you know, maybe invade or support. Who knows? Anyways, this will be a very, very fun Let's Play to do. Now, a couple of conventions that I'm going to set. For this first part, this will be more of a pilot. We're going to test out really what we're doing. I'm going to try and have 15 minutes of full gameplay. Now that doesn't include cutscenes or anything else or load time. 15 minutes of gameplay. Now, this could fluctuate depending on the audience approval. That being anyone who happens to fall upon this video. This is tailored for you, and this is really my entertainment too, because I find this game pretty dang fun from what I've played. So, without further ado, let's bust right in. Now, we will be creating a brand new game.
Good morning. Hey, can you hear me? Think back. Search your memory for an image of yourself.
Yes, I will be playing with a keyboard and mouse setup. While I would love to whip out my PS4 controller to play this, I simply am not doing this for sport or doing it competitively. I am just trying to do this for fun. We're gonna try and make my avatar. The one I use for the internet. I'm sure you've seen him around. His name is Cacktar. Same as well, my username. He's my mascot, alright? Don't question it. He's sort of my mascot. Now, quick story. The Cacktar character has gone through many changes throughout the many years that he has sort of existed. A lot of them, being while I was on the face of YouTube. As you could tell, I wasn't always this, you know, my YouTube avatar wasn't always this same thing. It was very different. Now, the way I made this one was I pretty much just used a phone program that I have used before, and I sort of just made it. You know, I thought, hey, this would be fun to do, so I made my character, remade him, and it's who you have today. Today's Cacktar. Now, how I got into this game? Well, if you didn't know, I've played Dark Souls before, which a lot of you may not have known, specifically because I haven't broadcasted me playing Dark Souls, but I have indeed played it before. It's pretty dang hard, as I know it being pretty dang difficult. This is, well, what I'm calling slightly easier Dark Souls, with an anime aesthetic. From what I've played. Bosses are still hard as balls. Now, my favorite part about this game has to be the aesthetic, the way the shader looks, because this game's got a pretty good looking shader. I believe it's a very similar one to the to Persona 5. I'm pretty sure it has a similar shader. And I just like how it looks. Personally, it could look very different, but personally, I enjoy it. I enjoy the look of it. So that's part of it. What got me to really buy this. Another part of what got me into buying this is it's a Souls-like. It's a Dark Souls game, and I've only ever played one, and that is Dark Souls 3, and that game is notoriously hard. I've said that already. I'll probably cut that out in post, but generally I enjoy it. Now, I won't be doing some cringy heterochromia type stuff. I might meme on some live streams, make some meme characters. But, that's just, those are meme characters, understandably, well, not understandably, but, to be honest, I really haven't played this game, or not this game, but I really haven't posted to YouTube. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm trying to recoup my thoughts. I'm gonna give myself a second. Alright, now that I've recuperated, I haven't posted to YouTube. There's multiple reasons why I haven't. The number one reason being is I just didn't find myself enjoying posting to YouTube all too much. I hate to say this, but it just wasn't fun. Now, what I had been doing in that time, not posting to YouTube, is, well, I've just sort of existed, I haven't really done anything besides that. I've just been playing lots of games, honestly. Terraria, a whole bunch of Terraria. Quick story, I was torn between doing a Terraria Let's Play and doing this. I decided on Code Vein because I had recently bought it and I was enjoying it. That's literally the story on why I'm playing this game over Terraria. We'll see how it goes, I guess. If it's good, if it's bad, if you enjoy it, if you don't, which this is mostly for my enjoyment. I'm playing this. I could be playing this for someone else's enjoyment, but what's the point then? Purifier Mask. We are going to go with the classic. We are going with the classic Purifier Mask. Mask frame, we're going to keep that the same. We are going to throw in some accessories. You know, I could get the... I used to have a whole Kingdom Hearts motif going with my character. I could do that some more. Or I could do something else. Who knows? You never know. Or I could just cut this entire character creation bit out if the video is too long. Shoot, you can have a second hair? Forgot you could have, like, multiple hairs layered on top of each other. But, yeah. You could get an L-sword type thing going. A long glove. That's like a Kingdom Hearts 2 type glove. Might go with that one. Yeah. The customization in this game, so far what I've seen, I really love it. You know, it really allows you to really make your character, while it does allow you to make it, you can make it as cancerous or as, you know, good as you want it to be. But this will be our boy, Cacktar, and his quest to, his quest, what will his quest be? Besides survival, obviously. His quest for anime titties. That's his main. Alright, so we've figured out why he is doing what he is doing, and well, I'm just gonna go with the default voice type. I could spend a lot longer, but we can do that. We can customize this character later. We can't change his gender though. So, this is what we will happen upon. So, let's go. Our name will be Cacktar. Our code name will be Cacktar. We really don't need a code name, but confirm selection. Let's do this.
That's what you do. Now, we can finally move.
Now I'll be showing the tutorial just to show you how this game plays. So as you can see, we have our boy. You know, we got this chick. We got Cruz.
Are you clear-headed? You will now be reborn.
You know, she's talking.
There are things you will need to
You know, Revenant.
so listen well.
It's not just a Doom thing. If you didn't know, it's also an actual term for a person that has revived and cheated death. Now, we will open our field menu and go into blood codes. This is the fighter. The code owner is unknown. Basically, it's your basic close range combat boy.
Which is excellent for combat.
As she has said, I will talk through this tutorial.
The fighter blood code grants
Ba-
ever-increasing endurance. It seems you
basically,
temporarily enhances your attack power.
basically it just makes you a stronger melee fighter. We can also equip a different, we can equip different tasks. Now, believe it or not, we do not have to hold down. We do not have to hold shift and hit F1 through F1 through 8 to activate our gift. No, I figured this out through basic gameplay. I thought it would be pretty hard to hold down that and then hit it whilst going through gameplay. Now, if you look in the corner, that is our Ichor, or Ichor. It looks like ammo? Well, because it can be used as ammo. Now we're gonna press number 3, or 3 key.
Be warned, the effects of a gift will not work unless it is prepared in advance.
Yeah, she's explaining Ichor, basically.
You can drain eye. Those are the basics of a fighter.
Basically, we can lock on sight, much like Dark Souls, you know, dodge roll around. And Jesus Christ, I just realized how much this sorta looks a little bit like Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Press Alt to guard. Guarding attacks will, of course, allow us to, you know, deal with damage easier. You know, rolling around. We can do a strong attack and charged strong attack. Believe it or not, that's not the only one. We can press up to switch our weapon. You know, there are multiple different types of weapons. Swords. I will get into them later. My personal favorite is the sword. The sword and bayonet types. But you can lock on type, target, do some little small weak attacks, which will be the bulk of your attacks, since strong attacks usually take up a lot of stamina and usually take time to charge. And you'll find you won't get that many opportunities in combat to charge your attacks. You can also dodge roll, obviously. There's no jump button, which honestly I thought there would be, but who gives one? And basically we are going to attack the Lost. These are this game's form of various monsters. They are basically revenants that have, well, caved to their bloodlust, and they will try and find blood at any cost. You know, of course you're going to need to take a little bit of time. You know, combat will never be this easy. Alright? This game may be the easiest of the Souls-like genre, or one of the easiest that I've played. But you can't just swing wildly.
Ordinarily, a revenant has only one blood code, but you are different.
You know, just basically explaining that we are the epic Animu Pro Tag that is super special and can equip 13 different types of blood codes. No, I am not sure if it's actually 13. I just came up with that number off the top of my head. Basically, what I'm saying is we are the chosen one, and we are the epic boy O. Now, what I'm getting into is that I usually always switch the sidearm.
That's much better, isn't it?
This is the bayonet type of weapon. But basically, it's just a giant gun.
Will always seem scary. That is where the blood veil you have equipped.
It's a massive gun, and we can fire it, and we can also swing around like a madman. Now, what this is explaining is in Dark Souls you can do back attacks. In this game, similarly, you can do the same. And you can hold your drain. You know, you got your little claw, and that will be to swipe at it. Now, here's an example of what it looks like. You know, you hold your little Animu fist, and you wanna sort of dodge attacks, but you normally holding down the left click button will shoot multiple, but I'm going to show you an example of or attempt to, because this game can be really iffy with back attacks, the cinematic that plays once you, well, it doesn't always happen in a cinematic form, but basically that happens when you back attack. There are multiple different blood veils that will allow you to use different back attacks.
Ranger, let us try one more now. Turn your
Now we have the caster blood code. What I thought was pretty sucky.
casters with it.
Now these basic blood codes are they aren't the best. That's pretty much forcing me to hold down shift and press the button. to do the bloodshot. Oh, no, I'm pressing the wrong thing.
You learn quickly. Bloodshot favors
I was pressing F3 and not 3. But basically, yeah, it's, you know, these basic blood codes aren't the best for combat. This is a Mistle. This game's form of, well, it's this game's form of, well, not Estus. That's the regeneration. The regeneration is this game's form of regen. But no, this game's form of bonfire is the Mistle. While other games have, you know, may have bonfires, may have something else, may have like save points. This is a Mistle. It actually, you unlock them and it has some form of importance in the plot. And by plot, I don't just mean anime titties.
punishes foes. However, its cost in Ichor is high. So
Yeah, it's basically explaining that there's Ichor costs for pretty much everything, and we will definitely have to combo enemies to regain, you know, by attacking, we gain a little bit of Ichor, you know, that little bar. Our Ichor is basically our ammo. If you think about it, we can recharge it. In a lot of ways, the Ichor mechanics sort of like Doom Eternal's forcing you to scavenge ammo. You kind of have to look at it, and you gotta make sure. Except with Doom Eternal, you don't get buffs, and you can't do stuff like that. You can blow enemies up. You know, if y'all interested in seeing a Doom Eternal Let's Play, I am down. I have the hardware, and I have the game itself. I've played a little bit of it. I'm trying to 100% it on my own time, but it's real fun. But that's you know,
appearance of your not only can stress
we aren't counting the tutorial in our gameplay. Once we get into the dodging the revenants and all that, or not revenants, but once we get into the actual core gameplay that is not dying, we will bust right in. Revenant transformation. We'll have tooltips that tell you. Revenants were created. Oh, I guess we don't get to read it. You can pause the video and read it if you want. Now I'm gonna be quiet for the cutscenes here.
Welcome back. Hello. How are you feeling? Don't worry. It's okay. I don't remember either. Over there.
Man, I get that this is the apocalypse, but she needs to find some better clothes.
It's dry, isn't it?
I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone here has the clothes on their back,
Go slowly.
and that's about it. But still,
I am here with you.
I mean, if my guy can have, you know, if our boy Cacktar can have clothes that cover up literally everything, I think she needs to. I think she's
We're
well aware that she could probably find something to cover up that area. Now, of course, she doesn't find anything to cover up that area that we're all probably staring at and pausing a video to look at, but still, she probably could. But I mean, I will not complain. I'm not like a, up here, no, there's another cutscene.
It seems everyone, everywhere, is thirsty. There is a spring that will cure that thirst, one that weeps tears of blood. That's what they said, anyway. This way. It's all right. It's all right. So, it is you. Here. This is for you.
A new spring and a fresh source of labor. Haha! We really hit the jackpot.
Get up. It's time for a bit of fun.
On your feet. We're about to go hunt for blood beads. Hurry up and get ready.
Fair wait then. Whoa. Keep it down. Your friend just fell asleep.
Dang. So, we we got to rest on probably some of the best some of the best set of pillows, and we get captured. You know, we get captured. She bit into us to draw our blood. Those are some dang sharp teeth that she can bite into us, and we we get the blood drop, and we satiate our thirst for blood. So now we're put to work.
This one's dry. And my asthma's pretty thick. Damn it! We're running out of time before the next collection. Everything's ready. Right. I'm on my way. All dried up. Just like the others.
Yeah, all dried up. So there's no sense in searching with the miasma like this. Let's...
You know what these are, right?
blood beads, right?
Yes, very good. Now I want you to search for blood beads in the tunnels ahead of here. You see, it's only a short time before the collectors come to take our levy. But once they do, I'm afraid we won't have any blood beads to give them. If we don't find some, Silva's hounds will strip the shirts right off our backs. Well, that's the long and short of it.
Why does it have to be us?
Don't ask me. The stupid levy system was Silva's idea. If you have a complaint, I suggest you take it up with him.
You lot go first. Get to work.
Don't. There's a better time and place. For now, we just have to obey.
Next!
Whoa there. You wait here with us. You can have this one back when you return. In exchange for any blood beads you find, of course. Oh, and I hear the hunter has been showing up around here lately. So make sure you don't all get killed.
You heard him. Move it!
Ouch. Hey, you okay? It looks like we can't get back up from here. We'll have to look for another way back. Oh, I'm Oliver Collins, by the way. Nice to meet you.
With Oliver Collins, we are finally introduced to the partner system. Now if those guards actually allowed us to put the ladder down, we probably could have gotten out of here safely.
Set out?
But, yeah. So, basically, we're stuck. So... yeah, let's do this.
A dead lost. I've never seen one before. I say dead, but they're not really dead.
Yeah, shut up. But basically, what he's saying is the lost truly.
So we can just leave them.
True, he's dead. All right. So basically, we are, we got our little lead pipe. It's a pretty long lead pipe too. But basically, we gotta hunt for blood beads. Now, we can end this. We can dispose of that one real quick. Yeah, that's... that is what I call an epic gamer moment. Now, it's telling us to use our gift. When in reality, we can just sort of... There we go. You love to see it. There's also a parry system. The animation's different between whichever blood veil you are using, which is our little outer coat. Basically, they're forcing us out. Now, the reason why everyone here has gas masks is because of a thing called miasma. It's in the air, and basically, it will corrupt us if we don't do anything. Now, it's basically telling us that's a tutorial on how to regenerate your HP. I assume that was for just in case, some new players lost their HP. Oliver Collins, he is not the best partner, but not the worst partner. There are better partners you can deal with. You get the heavy axe really early on, so you can replace your giant hammer of Thrillidom.
Sure, I can wait.
It takes a lot while its ratings for stuff is a lot worse, it is, it does good.
Which way do you think is better?
Now, it is showing us our equipment restrictions. Basically, you have to have certain stats to equip certain things. It's telling us about retrieving haze. Haze is our version of souls, our blood echoes, or whatnot. Now, you can... I'd love to see, like, like, some other, like, gaming channel try and do a pacifist run in this game. Of course, you wouldn't be counting the tutorial, since I'm pretty sure you have to attack. But, it would be a pacifist run nonetheless. Basically, you just have your partners do everything, and you wouldn't attack. That'd be a really... That is our introduction to another type of revenant that we can parry. Now, you have to get the timing correct, and there's also a focused state that we can activate. So we are going to try and take that man out real quick. Now, a really good strategy for something like this. I squandered that. A real good strategy for this is to lure the enemy out. Now you don't want to make the same mistake that I did first time running through this. And not do the thing. And hey, we mastered a gift, which, from what I've seen, allows us to equip it with another set of blood code. You can gain blood codes. We also get our first bayonet type weapon. I'll be rocking with the with the fighter blood code for a while until we're given access to a different blood code typing.
Wasn't very convincing, was it? These masks are the old type. Hard to breathe in them. How are you doing? That girl, she's your friend, right? We should find some blood beads and go back for her quick.
Yeah, I know. Who knows what that dude's doing? Now, you don't want to sell a lot of the stuff that you get. Unless they're weapons that you already have. You genuinely don't want to sell a lot because chances are you can probably get the same... there's a mechanic in this game that's a lot different. And we got our first broadsword, the Lost Broadsword. Now, basically what this does is, it's in the name. It doesn't have any effect damage, it's just a really basic sword. Now, if you're just playing this game for the first time, a lot of these enemies can seem really threatening, as... well, everything can. And I'd recommend, like, not going into it, you know, all gung-ho, alright? You sort of want to deal with this stuff from a distance. We are going to climb, and this is our... Now what this is a rotten mistle. Now, unfortunately, we cannot save at the rotten mistle, but what we can do is open this up, and we can save, and we can level up our character. Now, level ups are good for basically doing a lot more damage with specific types of weapons, and not getting more HP, nothing else really. You know, they're real basic. You know, I like using the lost shards.
Is there something good in there?
I like using it after the fact I'm done, and we get the bloodhounds basically it has a different type of slash attack. It's not slash attack. It has a different type of blood veil, I believe. It has a hound type, which is different from the Queenslayer Claws bloods type. I believe it is also similar to, yes, it is similar to the one guy, the guy that was orchestrating this, forcing us to get blood beads. Now, blood, a lot of this game is centered around blood. It may not seem like it, but we are not vampires.
Is there something good in there?
I am going to equip the Queenslayer's Greatsword, which is, well, it's a giant freaking greatsword. What else do you expect? So, yeah.
What is this?
Certain attacks can only be used with certain types of weapons. We are going to get through this tutorial section. Now, as you can see, certain types of weapons are real good for taking down certain types of Lost. Not all weapons are good for... You'll find yourself switching weapons a lot. There's a lot of weapons that can deal with a lot of different jobs. And we have...
Are you okay? Did you get hurt? That could have gone better. I'll catch up with you in a bit. Don't worry about me. I'll be alright. Go on. You just focus on finding some blood beads, alright? That girl is waiting for you.
Notice that his gas mask got broke. That will be some later information. That other dude met his unfortunate and untimely demise. Now, fighting alone can seem a little bit daunting, and for sure it did for me, but if you know the battle tactics, by battle tactics, I mean, conserving your energy, dodge rolling a lot, and occasionally parrying if you are good at it, which I'm not sure if I'm good at it, and performing back attacks when needed. Now, I wasn't able to perform a back attack on that one, so now I gotta, well, I'm facing the consequences for that. That big guy, he seemed really daunting on my first playthrough. He was real hard to beat. But now that I've played this a bunch, not a bunch, but now that I've played a good amount of time, I know that you can stun enemies like that. There is a stun status effect that's not quite stun, but you know, you can get them in the middle of their attack if your weapon is large enough, and they won't be able to hit you. Now, much like Dark Souls, there's drop attacks that you can perform. Unlike Dark Souls, it has an anime coat of paint. This game's pretty much just anime Dark Souls. Unlike Dark Souls, I'm pretty sure you can, you have 2 quick select slots. And unlike Dark Souls, you don't have shields either, so kind of dumb since the Lost have shields, but you don't have a shield. Sometimes you gotta do stuff like that, you know, you have these shield dudes holding up their shields and you gotta sorta easily knock their shield out. Now the daggers are first sorta weapon that will allow us to divert the tension away from certain enemies. it is really that's its only real use. You throw it to get the attention of certain enemies, and then you can get it away from the pack, get an enemy away from the pack, so you can make an encounter a lot less dangerous. Now, I'm going to show an example of this by equipping a dagger. And we're back! Sorry about that. I was interrupted during gameplay, which is always sort of a problem if you're, if you don't live alone. But I'm going to show an example of diverting the attention. You press down to use, and look, he's running at us. Bam! Bam! It only takes 2 shots to kill those things, and well, he's dead. He's dead. For Lost, they sure for people that have succumbed to bloodlust, they sure drop a lot of blood when they die. But I assume there's some convoluted reason why they can't use the Revenant blood. They have to use human blood and or blood bead blood. I assume it's a thing of purifying. Now, what we have is a regen extension factor. Now, basically, what it will do is it'll allow us to have more regens. It's pretty dang simple once you think about it. There's an acute stealth mechanic in this game, and that is just getting behind your enemy before they notice you. You can do back attacks while still being noticed. Although it's a little bit harder, so you really need to get the jump on your enemy. Now, what you see at the bottom of your screen here is Venom, I believe. It's either Venom or Slow. I think it's Venom, though. Yeah, it's Venom, now that I think about it. That is Venom. Basically, what that status effect does is if those slime monsters slimed us so much, we would be losing health at a rapid rate. Now, this game explains that the pain would be excruciating as the venom coursed through our veins, although, as I am not in the game, jacked in the game, I would not know. Now, here is our first real foe. Big boy. Ouch. Ouchie. Double ouchie. We kind of want to... We'll tackle that dude later, once we have a team. Someone a little bit more reliable. And... Oh shoot. What have I gotten myself into? I gotta lure this dude out. Now, big boy's gonna walk away, and he's going to forget we ever existed. Now, in the case of that guy, I don't believe our back attack would do too much. But give him a little tickle. Now, we'll fight him after we do a little bit of leveling. Now, level with me. You want to fight him? You want to kill him? I do too. But first we're going to rest at a Mistle. We can actually inherit gift skills. We can get the stamina usage gift. Now, when you're early on in the game, I don't recommend doing that too much. I recommend only using your stockpiled stuff. Now, we have 2 new abilities. We have the Blood Guard, which will make us temporarily immune to blood attacks, and we also have or not immune, but resistant, but we also have the Focus Stamina usage. Our stamina will basically go lower, or be used a lot less if we're focused. Now, the focus state happens when you're hit a bunch and or you block a bunch. Now, I'm just gonna focus in on this dude, and he is probably going to... You hate to see it, folks. He missed. He's getting comboed. He's gonna... Yeah, that's an attack you really... and there, you hate to see it. You hate to see it, folks. That's our first death. Put it on the death toll. I'll be sure to edit that in later. I'm the editor of this. But, yeah. Miss. Bam. 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 Ouch. Bam. Bam. He's focused. Enemies also have a focused state. And we took him out. We killed him on our second attempt. And on our first run through. Now, what we have acquired is the Queenslayer's Thorn. Basically, it is a stinger type blood veil that will sort of just pop out our butt whenever we use it, and it'll stab whatever we're trying to do. Now, what I recommend doing after you take out that dude is I recommend you just sort of rest at the mistle, because you know, you never know when you may need a bigger health restore. Now,
Are you a fellow explorer? It appears you're alone. I'm on my own at the moment too. I was hoping for a partner for the path ahead.
This dude
What do you
is...
say? Would you mind working together? At least until we're through here? Don't worry, I'm not gonna stab you in the back. Miasma and the Lost here are enough trouble as it is. Thanks a lot. I'm glad to work with you.
Here is our first, well, our second companion. And he may or may not last a little bit longer than our first one. You can take the upper route, but it's a lot more dangerous. It's a lot more dangerous to go the upper route. So I recommend going the lower route. And... take the lower route. See, he has a specific thing. You know, he did his little his fireball. Now, he has a very specific blood veil. Now, contrary to popular belief, you do not have to kill your enemies to get your blood veils. No. Well, you can. Well, I'm not sure if you can. Well, I wouldn't recommend it, since the more allies you have in this game, the more the merrier, even though you can only have two. You can only have one by your side. But, hey, I mean, it just works. He has a really cool sword, that will come up later, that, while I was playing alone, I actually laughed about hearing it, specifically because of another sword that you can acquire that looks exactly like it. Except it's textured differently. It's a retexture of the same sword. Now, I'm not sure if you can actually acquire it later on in the game, but still, I found it pretty dang funny that they would name that one, you know, be like, oh, scary blade, scary, or at least shows that someone was scared of it. And then there's a sword that's pretty much the exact same that you can get that NPCs aren't scared of. So yeah, I just thought that was pretty dang funny. I laughed about that.
Would have missed that.
Now, well, you know, while I'm playing this game, I might as well talk about what I've been doing over, you know, the obvious events. that have transpired. I will not name them, because I'm sure we all know what has been going on. Basically, I've just been playing a whole lot of D&D and playing a whole lot of games with friends. Really, it's the only thing you can do. Now, this is what we call a blood spring. Now, somehow we're able to just summon our blood from our hand, no cut, no anything. Like, I didn't see this dude, like slit his hand before he... And there we go, that's a blood bead right there. You know, looking kind of like a screwed up looking apple or something. I'm sure someone's gonna make a parody Apple logo where it's just a blood bead being eaten into. Or hell, I might even do it as a joke. Just, Apple is a blood bead. And here is another mistle. We can, of course, take a rest, level up our character, absorb the haze, and inherent traits. Now, I don't think we have enough to inherit any traits.
Hey, you. That's... forget it. We'll talk later.
Yeah, no. He's, basically...
Strange to see a cave connected to a building.
Yeah, it really... real talk, in real life, how many times have you seen a cave built into a building? I know in my Terraria builds, I build my buildings in a cave, but this is strange. If you couldn't already tell, this is pretty much just a post-apocalypse, where 90% of people are revenants that you find,
Pick up something we can use?
and 0.2% are real. Really? The bloody broadsword's a lot better. The lost broadsword. The lost broadsword's a lot better than the Queenslayer's blade, or at least the unupgraded one. That's a genuine surprise, specifically because I haven't gotten lucky enough. Well, early on I didn't get lucky enough to have the lost broadsword drop for me,
Watch out.
which is real funny. Now this dude's, you know, he's doing his thing. You know, we got some old world materials which will become useful a little bit later on. You know, he's got the exact same broadsword, which for some reason, whenever you kill someone, their weapon just sort of fades away. I don't question it, but what is funny is you don't see very many people using a lost broadsword, even though they are found inside people, like found inside some of the people that you look at. Now, I like the design of a lot of weapons in this game, you know, reds meshing with other colors. Woo, we just saw through a building. Now, this game will have it doesn't have the best when it comes to clothing clipping through things, you know, but you just sort of gotta forgive it because it's such a fun game. It's a Souls-like, but yeah, it's an easier Souls-like. Up, and looks like he's after us. That is what is called a dash attack, and I thought I killed him. Yeah, no, sometimes that'll happen where you just rush into something and you don't really see an enemy to the side and he'll ambush you.
Hole created by a Thorn of Judgment. Watch your head and expect.
I wonder what the biology of those goop creatures are. Like, if those are the same as the Lost, like, how did a Lost become, like, viscous? a liquid. Yeah, you'll see like weapons like that just sort of in people. Like, that's a lost bayonet right there. You don't really see many people using lost bayonets. You just see people using base bayonets.
That was well hidden.
It was a glowing thing. We'll have to come back for that later. Yeah, no, that's another lost weapon, but you don't really see people taking it. Partly because if you're going to explore out here, you're probably gonna have a better weapon anyways.
Back on the surface again.
Just speaking technically, none of us would survive this. Partly because we're not revenants, but I'm sure that they got a lot of capable people, random capable people that they thought could fight in a war, would be good as a revenant. And they put the boar parasite inside, and then they, sooner or later, they came back.
Once someone is lost, they can never come back. Cast aside their doubt.
Here's our first boss battle. My man's sword, I'm gonna call him My Man's because you'll learn his name later. But My Man's sword kind of reminds me a lot of the Muramasa from Japanese folklore. Now I'm pretty sure Namco that might have been an inspiration for this sword in specific. Now, I am not doing too hot. And transformation. He is a fat boy. You can tell this is definitely made by the same dudes that made Dark Souls. Aesthetically, once you get creatures that are looking like that. I'm just gonna equip my stronger Chad weapon. Oh, now this is an example of focus. Now, if this were a normal enemy and not a boss fight, we could combo him to the ground. And we killed him. We also got a judgment sledgehammer for our efforts.
She's all right. By the way, both of you.
All revenants must pay a levy. There are no exceptions.
A vestige. Best to stay away from those stones. Anyone who touches them is defiled, transformed into the lost. Don't listen to their whispers.
Someone has to be sacrificed. Without blood beads, we won't make it.
Once she's settled down, let's get out of here.
Someone has to be sacrificed.
Wait, what are you... Let go! It'll swallow you up!
It's all right. You can do it.
What the hell?
Can't really let go when it just sort of slices into your hand. Now you can't run in these.
Keep them just this once. We won't make it if you take them.
All revenants must pay a levy of blood beads. There are no exceptions. Sorry.
Yeah, basically.
Someone has to be sacrificed. Without blood beads, we won't make it.
Yeah, basically the government in this game is forcing
Few humans that remain are under Silva's control.
a
Wandering
levy.
revenants like us, forced to hunt for blood beads, face death. Even if some revenants must be sacrificed for our survival.
Yeah, no, I imagine this wouldn't be a problem if levying didn't really exist. Or they didn't levy the blood beads, force revenants to go out for survival. If they you know, had blood donation. If they thought of that instead of really doing all this. But then again, this is a lost government.
This is a memory echo. It's a place where lost recollections still wander. Come, let's move on. If you use that stairway, I believe it should take us back to the world outside this memory.
Well, they never explain how she knows what this is, but or at least so far they haven't. So far from what I've played. Again, this is technically my first experience of the game, being that I am doing 2 playthroughs, one for YouTube and one for my own personal enjoyment. Now it's not showing us what lost. What
the hell was that?
It was a memory, carved into that vestige by the one who left it behind.
I didn't expect that I'd get dragged into it too.
We both melted into you.
I can't believe this. What a power. Come with me. I know a spot where we can rest. I'm Louis. I'm researching blood beads. Nice to meet you.
That is Louis. We also gained the Berserker Vestige Core. And the Berserker blood.
Ugly, isn't it? The red mist showed up a short time after the Queen was defeated. And when it did, it trapped everyone and everything inside, giving birth to the Society of Revenants ruled by Silva. The Jail of the Mists. As time passed, that was the name people gave to the world inside. The creatures trapped inside the miasma wander in a never-ending cycle of death and rebirth, always searching for blood beads to sustain them. Revenants need to have blood. Without it, they turn into those creatures we call the Lost. The Revenants who captured you were desperately searching for blood, terrified of losing themselves. It's a common fate these days. But ripples are beginning to form. You cleared the miasma and revitalized the blood spring. Where did you learn to do that? You've forgotten? Anything you do remember? That's unusual, losing so much of your memory. I suppose it was the same for her. For now, just take it easy. Make yourself at home.
Dang. The world changed, boys. We are, basically, this is our home base, you know. We are the Animu Pro Tag. Now, you'll all learn of this. Now we'll all learn what exactly all this has to do with us, and why the heck we're in such a place in the first place. Next time on Code Vein, we'll learn who these people are.